So what we'll do is we'll let the people join in. So when the figure comes to a reasonable, we have a reasonable figure, then probably we'll start. 1 or 2 more minutes.
I think our team is they're messaging that they're getting removed from the webinar. So
No, they'll be Raj.
Is there a participant link that we can?
Participant में link
Yeah.
डालो राज उनको.
हाँ मैंने उन्हें participant बना दिया.
हाँ.
I'm sending the general link.
Sulmeet, they are being made as participants.
Okay. Sure. I'll inform them.
आपका टाइटल क्या है यार? मैं टाइटल भूल गया मतलब. I think, sir, should we start? हेलो सर, हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, sure. We can start.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good afternoon, friends. I, on behalf of Export Promotion Council for Handicrafts, welcome you all to today's webinar on Sell Direct to Consumers Globally, Building Capabilities for Digital World. Now, technology plays a very important role in our lives, and we have, over the past 10 to 15 years, started selling and buying online. And today we have with us to guide our exporters in their endeavor to use technology in the best possible way. We have the giant of an e-commerce portal, Amazon, with us. And to guide us on the subject, we have Miss Nikki Anthony. Nikki is a business head for jewelry softlines categories for the India to US arc in the global trade team of Amazon. She overlooks new seller requirement and expansion of these categories. What she's going to explain in a presentation include why global selling, the market opportunity for EPCH members, overview of the program, value proposition and benefits for MSMEs, guidance and steps for getting started on e-commerce exports, key product categories relevant to EPCH sellers, and seller success stories. But that is the most important thing. Now we have also been joined by Mr. Kamal Soni. He is Vice Chairman of the EPCH and he's from Moradabad. We welcome you, sir. Now, before I ask Ms. Nikki Anthony to start the presentation, we have with us our chairman, Sri Ravi K. Pasi. He has been a great support for us. He has been in all our webinars. And as I've told, Mr. Kamal Soni has also joined in from Moradabad. Now, what I would ask all the participants who have joined in so far, that to listen to the presentation carefully. The presentation is briefly 40 to 45 minutes. But the idea is to generate queries out of the presentation. And I would request everyone to have their queries ready right in the Q&A section, because right after the PPT, we'll have the Q&A. So over to you, Nikki. You can start with your presentation. You can share your screen. And then probably after your presentation, we'll have some comments from Mr. Pasi or Mr. Soni. And then we'll have the Q&A session. Nikki. You are muted, Nikki. You have to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I am so sorry. I thought I had unmuted. Thank you so much, Mr. Rajesh, for this opportunity. Thank you so much, Mr. Ravi and Mr. Kamal, also for the opportunity for inviting Amazon to be a part of this panel. Good afternoon, everybody who joined and taken some time today to be able to attend our webinar. I'm Nikki, and I'm part of the Amazon Global Trade Org, where we help Indian manufacturers of the Amazon global marketplaces via us sell and export. Okay, I hear that there is some network issue. Just give me a second, please.
Your voice is cracking. There's network. And since Sulmeet is also there, I would like to introduce Sulmeet is also there on the panel. She's Nikki's colleague. Hi, Sulmeet. You're welcome to the show.
Hi. So I had partnerships for global trade business. So it's nice to connect to the EPCH team. We look forward to working with EPCH for even further events and helping the members in getting started on export. So e-commerce export. We are really looking forward to this engagement. And now Nikki will be leading the sessions from the session from our end. I think Nikki is facing some network issues. So.
Hi, I hope my voice is better. Hear it right now?
Slightly. Can you hear us, Nikki?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So I shall share my screen with you and I will start our presentation. You can feel free. We will leave the last 15 minutes for any questions in case anybody has any questions. You can also share your questions on the chat box. I have members from my team available to answer any questions on the chat box as well. Let me just share my screen and we can start. I hope my screen is visible. Oh, thank you, sir. Okay, so welcome everybody, and like Mr. Rajesh mentioned, we shall be sharing how we can increase our e-commerce capabilities and build our network across the globe, especially through Amazon, and how we are helping MSMEs and other manufacturers in India to do this. So today we will just give you an overview of our program, what are the different product categories, etc., that work best for the global marketplace, as well as having some shared success stories from our existing centers. Just to give you an overview of how the e-commerce market currently looks like. So as per a study by McKinsey, the global opportunity in 2020 for e-commerce stands at about $1 trillion US. And for Indian MSMEs especially, this stands at about $300 billion. Uh, Most of our exports currently go into US, Europe, France, Germany, there is Australia, Middle East, Japan, Singapore. These are new markets that are evolving for us over the last couple of years. And Amazon is setting up ARCs and logistic solutions and programs for Indian companies to be able to export via Amazon into these countries and into these destinations. How we, of course, operate, we can share more details as we go into the presentation, and I will get share with you more details on how you can register yourself and how you can get into any of these marketplaces.
Nikki?
Yes?
There is still some problem with the voice. I mean, if
Okay,
you can see on the chat
just a
box,
second.
probably there's
Just a
still,
second. Okay, so just a second. Hello, is this better?
Yeah, this seems okay. Yeah.
Okay, I cannot hear. Just a second, please. Sorry about this.
तुम लिखो यार, खोलो खोलो, एक मेल कर दो मुझे। नहीं, चार्जर नहीं, चार्ज नहीं मेरे पास। ये तुम्हारा ही है, मेरा तो मोबाइल है। I think Nikki is having some technical issue, but she'll be joining us soon. Sulmeet, are you there? Sulmeet, are you there?
Sorry?
Yeah, I think she's having some trouble. Meanwhile, you can explain what you do, brief about your division, because she's going to join us.
Sure, sure.
She's there. No, she's there. She's there.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Better?
Nikki. Yeah, better, better.
Okay, okay. Sorry, there was some problem with my internet and my uh, headphones. Just let me start again.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, so these were the top destination marketplaces that we have for exports. And in terms of the categories that are available to sell, we do best in textiles, jewelry, leather, beauty and home decor, along with organic, organic products in Ayurvedic, beauty, etc. These are the top categories where India excels into exporting into each of these marketplaces. Um, Earlier this year, or from the time our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, has taken over, he has been a strong advocate of having vocal for local and made in India being a very large slogan and a large part of his agenda. He understood that with our selection and our quality, we would be able to make an impact in the global market. Um, Along with him, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, also, who's the ministry for minister for MSME, has also been helping overall in increasing the exports from the MSME sector. He too believes that there is great potential in Indian artisans, Indian manufacturers to be able to make the right kind of offerings which is needed for the global market. Earlier this year, our CEO and founder at Amazon, Mr. Jeff Bezos, had also visited India. And he was also talking about the promise of taking the Make in India goods to a $10 billion market on Amazon by 2025. And our team is specifically working towards this agenda in making the larger global trade from India quite impactful and something that we would want to be able to be proud of over the next few years. So just to give you an overview of our status so far, we have achieved the $2 billion milestone as of 2019-2020 financial year. We had 47% growth in the exports by MSMEs over the period of time since we launched, which is in 2015. Today, 800 plus MSMEs are listed on Amazon.com who have a business of more than 1 crore INR on a yearly basis. When we have peak periods like Prime Day or during any of the holiday seasons that exist, year on year, the growth is around 72% when it comes to Indian exports from various categories into the global marketplaces. Our top cities in terms of where global selling has been, has already set up our footprint. If you categorize it into different regions, we have Delhi and Gurgaon, Noida in the north. In south, we have a lot of exports happening from Bangalore, Chennai, Coimbatore, etc. East, of course, there is Patna, there is Bhubaneswar, Calcutta, and Mumbai, Surat, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, etc. in the west. These have been a key marketplaces for us over the last 4 to 5 years when we've established ourselves. Other than this, there are other cities like Kota, Jodhpur, Patna, etc., that are coming up, and we are seeing more and more sellers and a selection being added from each of these cities. To share our journey, like I mentioned, we launched in 2015. And at that point of time, we had about 9,000 odd sellers who were a part of the global sales program. And they were exporting to various marketplaces. Most of it is North America, but followed by Europe and Middle East. In 2018, we increased our solution provider networks, which means third-party services that help Indian sellers with various facilities like taxation, logistics, warehousing, etc. And by 2019, we had about 50,000 sellers onboarded who were a part of our global sales program. Today in 2020, we've hit a 60,000 mark. This was as of the middle of the year, end of H2 2020, sorry, H1 2020. And we have been having, a great traction also in terms of the number of products that have been listed. So where in 2016, it was about 15 million products that were listed. Today, we have 140 million odd products that are listed as a part of the Amazon Global Sales product listing from India. To share with you some of the key marketplaces, like I mentioned, we have, of course, North America, we cover Europe, Singapore, Australia, Japan, and Middle East. We have a large set of network in terms of these countries. For other countries that do not fall into any of these specific geographies, we use our fulfillment centers that are available in any of these countries, which are closest to the country where you have an order from, and use the fulfillment centers from these countries to be able to satisfy the customer's demand. So how does Amazon Global Selling work? So you are an organization that makes products in India, and you are looking forward to having an export to, say, North America. You would first list yourself on the Amazon Global Selling platform, and you would also share a list of products that you wish to sell. You would create a listing or a cataloging. There will be people who will help you from the Amazon Global team to create these listings, to be able to share with you the best practices in terms of what kind of products, what kind of images, what kind of listings, keywords, etc. to be used while creating these listings. Once you create this listing, you will also ship these products to the fulfillment centers that Amazon has across the world. So you choose which are the marketplaces that you want to be available in, and you share or you send this products via Amazon to any of these fulfillment centers. Amazon's fulfillment centers that exist across the world will store your products as and when there is an order that is coming in from a customer in any of the marketplaces. Amazon will use the fulfillment center and will ship out these products on behalf of you. When the customer receives the product or and the payment, etc., it will be shared with you in terms of what is the orders that you have received and what are the realization in terms of the amount that you have received, and you will get it in your local bank account in INR. So this is the cycle in which a very basic overview of the cycle by which Amazon Global Sales works. So one of the things we of course do is to ensure that the Made in India product is visible across the world. We help customers from across the world discover your products via various activities, marketing activities, creating storefronts which are relevant. For example, we will have a Diwali storefront, we will have a Make in India storefront, just to be able to showcase special products during times of holidays or times of a particular theme that we want to pick up, and we'll pick up products and showcase these to the global customer. And also each of their separate functions, right? For example, Thanksgiving in USA or in Middle East, there is something called as a Singles Day. These are specific periods or holiday shopping peak periods, which are also beneficial for Indian sellers. We help our Indian sellers maximize the benefits of these peak periods by identifying them well in advance, helping you plan the inventory for these particular season, help you identify the right kind of product and selection that you should have during the peak season, and setting it up in terms of giving you marketing initiatives and activities and offering them to you, so that you are able to benefit the most from all of these peak periods across the world at different points of time. Like I mentioned, the logistics and warehouses services are provided by Amazon. So you do not have to worry about finding your own logistics and warehouses. Amazon will be able to share this with you. We also, uh, basically you can have the expenses as operating expenses instead of capital expenses, and reduce it for tax and accounting purposes as and when you wish to, based on your business model. So some of the international brands that have been created by Indian companies, these are some of them as per different categories. So for example, in textiles, California Design Den. In toys, there is Skillmatics and Jack in the Box. There is Clifton for leather, Vadam for teas, Wow for beauty. There is jewelry like Kala and Touchstone. These are various brands that have been a part of their Amazon marketplace over the last few years, and they have had incremental success after joining Amazon Global Program. Like I mentioned, right, we have like a Diwali storefront that has been created to be able to showcase on Amazon.com the major products that India has. They are very ethnic products, keeping in line with the Diwali or with the festival season that coincides last year. So we had this storefront created, and every year, depending on the theme, depending on the festival, we create these storefronts and curate the right products that get listed here and get visibility for customers across the world to be able to discover your products. Sharing with you some success stories of sellers who had benefit. So, for example, Skillmatics is into toys and games, so they help create an education. Today, Skillmatics is part of 35 countries across the world, and with Skillmatics, with Amazon, they have been ranked as a number one product on Amazon.USA. So the fact that they are able to compete with any brand across the world, including US own brands, it shows that there is success and there is scope for Indian brands to be becoming a top or a number one across any marketplace that they wish to. Another one is California Design Den. California Design Den, it works into home linen bed sheets. Again, they too wanted, or they understood that there is clearly a market for home linen across the globe. However, a lot of costs in terms of marketing, supply chain, etc., was not helping them scale up. But with Amazon Global, they were able to take care of these logistics, marketing, etc., in terms of investment, and they could focus on building quality products or creating quality listings and ensuring that the customers are having the selection that they wish to, while the logistics, the marketing, etc., was taken care of by Amazon, leaving time for them to invest into making the right designs. Today, California Design Den is one of our most popular brands and success stories that we have on Amazon to share. Another one is a company based in Surat, Zia Fashion, who is available across multiple marketplaces of Canada, US, Mexico. And starting as a one-man show today, he has a team of 10 people who actually set up and run the business for him. So to be sitting in a town like Surat and to be able to sell into any North America marketplace is something that is possible because of Amazon. Another one success story is SVA Organics. SVA Organics sells mostly essential oils and beauty products. Again, they will also be able to have a large amount of growth, since their launch, and they have been able to see multiple times business. Like there has been 6x times growth as compared to 2019, And even in 2020, they were looking to grow their business at 3 times the rate as what it was from last year. So some of the stories that we have to share. Like I mentioned, there are some categories where we excel in, and we have the right selection, the right manufacturing capabilities, and return on investment, in the sense that we, for the cost of manufacturing these items in India, we have a good profit to be made in selling these products. Some of them are in the textile and home categories like bed sheets, handicraft items, jewelry and apparel like fashion jewelry, beaded jewelry, gemstone jewelry, um, leather products, bags, toys, of course, your beauty products and Ayurvedic products, organic products. These tend to do very well on the Amazon global marketplace because there is a large demand for these products across the world, and customers are looking for, of course, the best selection at the best prices possible for them. Again, a little more detailed categories and some specific products like kanta quilt, spices, groceries, copper mugs. These are specific items which have had a great demand, and we see people having need for this across Amazon. So like I was telling you, where we were helping, one of the things that we do is, of course, work with trade bodies like the EPCH and other export councils to be able to build awareness and create more understanding of how the Amazon Global Program works. We are always there to help you identify the right marketplaces for your product. We help in person by setting up, you would have a dedicated account manager who will be helping you set up the product as you are, as you wish to be a part of this program. We will tell you the right market, product fitment, seasonality, keywords which help discoverability, etc. So these are some things that we assist businesses with when they are a part of the Amazon Global Program. There is also, in terms of the logistics that we take care of, there is SPN services, which is special networks that have been set up to be able to create logistics, warehousing, taxation services, imaging, quality listing, etc. All of those is taken care of by the SPNs. That is for businesses who wish to outsource this. The SPN networks exist. If you wish to do it at your end, even that option is available. Then, of course, we are also expanding to new marketplaces. So I gave you a list of 13 marketplaces that we currently operate on. But as time passes, we are also expanding. Like this year, we tried to we are expanding into Japan, Singapore, Australia. We will have other countries also being opened towards the next 2 to 3 years. So they're not just to the restricted 13 marketplaces that we currently are. Once you are a part of the Amazon Global Program, you can even choose the larger other countries that exist. And even the transition or the listing process for any of this is also quite easy. And you have our team members to assist you for the same. In jewelry, for example, the specific products that work best are beaded jewelry, bracelets. So some of these are the top bracelets that were selling on Amazon.com a while back. And most of these are from India, and the selection is from India in terms of beaded bracelets, gemstone bracelets. We also sell a lot of these earrings that are handcrafted or handicraft item made, like beads, string, thread, jewelry, etc., which do very well and successfully. Gemstone jewelry in the form of earrings or in the form of bracelets, kadas. These have with silver, for example, mixing silver and gemstone. They do incredibly well on the Amazon marketplace. One of our jewelry sellers, Haley, who is a part of our global program from 2017. They were able to increase their scale of business from 6 people to 120 people today, and they have it across different verticals. And they have now been able to have almost 50% year-on-year growth from when they were launching. They are one of the most popular products in this fashion jewelry category that Amazon has. Another seller is Lekala, who launched in 2018, and they decided to go global. They also have a very strong silver jewelry portfolio or product catalog that they had. Understanding what works in US, what works in EU in terms of restrictions, what kind of any kind of prohibition, any kind of quality that is needed to be maintained in terms of silver or in terms of their gemstone, all of which the Amazon team was able to help them identify. They were able to scale their business over the last 2 years that they have been a part of our program. So they first launched in the US market, but today they are a part of the Amazon EU market as well as into the Canada market also. Some of the leather products that have had incredible sales is, of course, wallets. Then there is bags, your crossbody bags, leather laptop briefcases, leather jackets. So we have um, again a lot of success in the leather apparel category also, along with wallets and accessories that are made in leather, like travel bags, wallets, passport cards. um, Getting into the costs of doing business. So one of the things that Amazon, to be as a part of the Amazon Global Program, is, of course, you will be registering yourself as a professional seller. A professional seller has a monthly subscription fees of $40 per month. This is a recurring fees that happens on a monthly basis. Along with this, there is a commission that is being charged for every sale that you make, depending on the category and the product that your it falls into. For example, if it is in books, toys, etc., you would be charged 15% of your sale value, while if it is at apparel, for example, you will have 17% of sale value. So there are two kinds of costs that Amazon has in selling with Amazon. This is our pricing structure. We can, of course, share with you detailed pricing structure once you list yourself, and we will assist you in the pricing structure to understand it better. There is, of course, the cost of shipping or logistics. So Amazon has two different programs that it offers for exporters when they want to send products to any of the marketplaces. One is Amazon FBA, which is the Fulfill by Amazon, which is where Amazon will share their warehousing facilities for you to store their products, your products in the Amazon FBA center, and Amazon will fulfill it as and when an order comes. The other one is MFN, which is Merchant Fulfill Network. Merchant Fulfill Network is when the order comes and you from India can fulfill this, or the entire fulfillment is done by you at your pace and your time. FBA is more popular because in terms of scale, you can send out a large shipment and keep it in any of the Amazon warehouses. For scale, FBA is a great option. Also, FBA is also assuring you of larger sales volume, since it is being stored at a marketplace which is already close to the customer. The delivery times for these products would be much lesser, which means there is a larger tendency for a customer to click that particular product as compared to something which is being sold or fulfilled from India, which is under the MFN. Again, based on packaging, based on size of your product, there are different prices for each of these logistic solutions. Whether MFN works for you or whether FBA works for you is also something that Amazon team would be happy to work with you and explain to you. A lot of our sellers do a mix of FBA plus MFN, especially for high value items, custom made products, etc. MFN may make more sense, and you can list your standard items and popular products as FBA and have them shipped to the warehouse earlier itself for you to be able to take care of them. Like I mentioned, we have third-party service providers, or SPNs actually, that are already set up to take care of different aspects of business for you when we are doing exports, right? In terms of taxation, in terms of trademark procurement, creating images, cataloging, testing a product for a particular market, helping you with the logistics, of course, in terms of returns, shipping, etc. All of this network already exists. This network is also constantly growing. We identify new seller providers of these services and keep onboarding them, training them, explaining to them how Amazon Global works, and they also will be able to assist you in understanding each market that you are selling into, the specifications of each market. So we have a list of them. We will also share with you, the top SPNs as and when you need, depending on the category that you are working in. For example, for jewelry, we may have specific set of SPNs, while for leather or home apparel, there will be a separate set of SPNs that will be working best for you. In terms of logistic services, we of course tie up with most of the top logistic providers. There is FedEx, there is Aramax, DHL, UPS. These are some of the providers. We also, of course, from India, tie up with India Post. In US, we tie up with US Post. There are more other logistic providers that are available for you to be able to send out your shipments on time, at different prices, bulk shipments. Like Pota will help you with ocean freight shipments, while FedEx is perfect for smaller items or for jewelry and low volume products. In terms of weight products, you can send out via FedEx, etc. So these logistic services are also tied up and set up. For handmade items specifically, we have a separate program called as the Handmade Program or the Amazon Handmade Program, which has a different approach altogether. This is meant for artisans only. So not every category can fall under Amazon Handmade. We have specific categories that we can share with you who are eligible for this program. For people who are a part of this program, the $30 or the $40 monthly fee is completely waived off, and you only have a referral fee that you need to pay depending on the category that you need to sell. So the recurring monthly fees is taken off, and you have a commission-based structure that is being shared. These are some of the categories that the Amazon Handmade Program currently has. So you can sell under jewelry, home decor, beauty, toys and games, etc. This works specifically for handmade artisans and people who manufacture it from hand. Again, more details we can share with you, and my team can share with you on how to list yourself as a part of the Amazon Handmade program and get the benefits of Amazon. We also have a lot of support that the government also provides for MSMEs as a part of the plan that what I was telling you with the Ministry of India has in terms of increasing our exports over the next few years. So a lot of our export documentation and processes have now been made digital, which makes it much more easier to track, to procure these particular documents. Time taken is also lesser. You can be at any part of India, be it a small town or be it a large city that you're a part of, and still have access to any of the services that the Indian government is providing for getting the right documentation for custom clearance. Specifically, we've also reduced the documentation that is needed for exports, right? So there was a large list of mandatory documents. Today, it has been reduced to 3 documents. Similarly, the courier shipment value has increased from 25,000 to 5 lakhs for e-commerce couriers. So it helps and benefits in terms of the scale of operations that you're able to handle. The post offices that exist in India who handle foreign posts have also increased from 3 to 28. So the government of India is also doing things to help Indian businesses go global. Like I was telling you, some specific areas that we've been getting benefits from the government of India is, of course, in terms of marketing and awareness. There is a lot of noise around the made in India, vocal for local, these initiatives. There's a lot of awareness. Different brand ambassadors are being roped in by the government of India to ensure that we are providing the right awareness and the right visibility to Indian products. Logistically, like I said, the number of foreign post offices have also increased. In terms of compliances, documentation also, we have one ease of transaction with the government agencies that help with exports and imports, which have also made it much more easier for any business to start going global as soon as possible. So this is in short about our Amazon program. I have shared the email IDs of my team members here, so you can reach out to them for specific categories, and they will be able to help you understand better how to take your business onto Amazon platform. Feel free to write to us, and I believe you could also ask questions in the next 10 to 15 minutes, and we will be happy to answer them. This is our email ID also. In case you wish to reach out to any of us, you can use this email ID, and we can reach out to you. Thank you so much for listening in. I shall stop sharing my screen, and we can have any questions.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you very much. I hope our participant may have got some idea of what we are trying to achieve through this webinar. I think, Sulmeet, there are a lot of questions. Probably you may have seen in the chat box.
Yes, yes.
So probably we can take questions one by one, or else if Mr. Pasi or Mr. Soni would like to add something to it, probably we can hear from them. Sir, would you like to say something?
I just want to say that it is a big platform, no doubt nowadays also. But let the other exporters, they can ask a question, so then there will be more clarity. So let's ask them a question first, then we will come in, right?
Okay. Mr. Soni, is it fine? Probably we'll have question answer session.
Yeah, definitely. It's really very wonderful and very knowledgeable section. And I am with Mr. Pasi that we'll continue with the participant. Then we can add something in the last. Yeah.
Okay, perfectly fine. So Sulmeet, you'll ask question. You'll take it from the chat so that Nikki can answer it.
I'll do that, sir. I will just go through some of the questions. So I think one of the questions is, what are the charges the exporter should factor for logistics and warehousing? So depending on the solution that you choose, for example, FBA or MFN, we already have, depending on the category and the volume and size of your product, the Amazon team member will be able to give you a cost that you should include. So we can help you, and you can factor that before you decide the final price for the customer to choose. So we can share with you depending on category and price. Another question that we have is, where is Amazon India office? So currently we are based in Bangalore. However, starting early next year, we actually are splitting into a regional office. So we will have offices in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, and we can help people from any of these cities. Considering we are all at Corona and we are all working from home, you can be assured that wherever you are, we will be happy to assist you virtually for now. And if you want to meet us starting next year, we should be available in any of these cities, Delhi, Bombay, or Bangalore. How are payments done? For example, I send 500 pieces of my product to Amazon global marketplaces. They keep selling one by one. How is the payment made for them sent to me further in India? So yes, as and when your product is sold, you will be able to see, there is an access to something called as a seller central tool, where you will be able to see the orders that you have received and the realization of value against each of these. And you will be able to get the realization for each of the products that you are being sold to. I can see some of the questions. Let me just see if there are any more questions. I think my team is also answering some of the questions in the chat box as and when they are coming. So if there are any specific questions, you can use the Q&A tool and I can take it from there.
Some people are asking how are returns handled. I mean, this is a constant query.
Yes.
So if you can throw some light on it, that if the product is not as per the requirement of the buyer, so how they are, yeah. Good.
Got it. For FBA, that is where you've already sent your product to Amazon warehouse, the returns are also handled by Amazon. It will come back to the FBA or the fulfillment center that exists in any of the marketplaces. And the next time the return comes in, we will send out, I mean, once the product is checked and available for sending to the next customer, on the next order, that particular product will be sent out. If it is MFN, which is where you have sent it from India to any of the uh, countries by yourself, then for MFN, you may need to work with a logistics provider to bring it back to India as well. Or you may have a logistics or a warehouse that exists in any of the marketplaces. Like a lot of our sellers also have other warehouses in US, which are not Amazon warehouses, but they would prefer returning it to any of the US Amazon warehouses rather than bringing it to India. Because after a period of time, chances are there are export fees that exist. It will be like a re-import fees rather to bring it back to India. So depending on the time spent, on how long it has been, what is the value of the product, sellers choose what works best for them at that point of time.
So there's a charge involved. Hmm? As you said, import fees. There's a charge involved
For
for the exporter.
specific, yes, for specific products for a period of time. After a period of time, there could be a re-import fees that is being levied. We are also constantly working to see, with the government on how we can work on some of these aspects and improve upon it or reduce upon it. But as of now, yes, there is a re-import fees for some product categories after a period of time.
Just adding to Nikki's answer, the fees is levied by government, not Amazon.
Okay, that's an import duty
Yes,
probably.
yes,
You are importing
yes,
back into India.
yes,
That's what
yes.
it is.
So we are also trying to work with government that this like restricts the exporters and it restricts their benefits. So we are continuously in touch with customs and other agencies to get this issue resolved. But there are some issues in this.
Okay. So there are more questions on VAT. What is that?
I'm just checking more questions.
Hmm.
My products are wooden. If products get damages, who will be bearing the charges? Again, so if the product is sent by MFN, you will be bearing the charges. For FBA too, depending on the kind of product that is there could be a charge. I mean, some of it, uh, depending on the product, will be charged by the seller himself will have to bear it.
Okay.
Um, if we send good amount of inventory and half of it sells, what happens to the balance of goods? So FBA, in FBA, the warehouses will continue holding the products in their warehouse. You can choose to keep it there for a minimal fee that will be charged post 1 year of warehousing or 1 year of it being there. There will be a minimal fee. Some of sellers also choose to start liquidating those in US itself, and we have those providers services also provided. So you liquidate it in other websites or other ways of liquidating it as well. Many of you guys are asking contact details. I will share the contact details also separately again, but I can maybe just keep the screen share on so that you will be able to see the email IDs. Just a second. Yeah, so I think you can see some of the email IDs already.
And also, we will be sharing the email, like just in this webinar, we'll be sharing follow-up details over your email and phone number. So
Yeah.
that we will do.
Can Amazon give support in identifying the best-selling products and price points? Yes. Depend again, when you reach out to us, we will help you identify the right products. What are the price points that work best for you? Is there a season involved in which your products will sell better? All of those insights can be shared by the Amazon team. Courier fees vary. So yes, I mean, depending on the provider who's helping you with the couriers, the fees would vary. Like FedEx and DHL, the fees vary. I mean, these are at the end of it decisions by the companies. From our end, if you are sending it via FBA, we have worked with some of the providers to create standard fees. So for your product, so that everybody gets the benefit of scale and benefit of being a part of the Amazon Global Program. These fees can be, once you are talking to us, we can share with you what are the options in terms of costs that are available for you, and you can use the same. Please unscramble FBA and MFN. FBA is fulfilled by Amazon. That is the service by which your products are sent to the Amazon warehouse, and it is in place there, and all the orders are fulfilled from Amazon itself. MFN is Merchant Fulfilled Network, where when the order comes, the delivery or the logistics is taken care of from India by the seller themselves. Here, Amazon is not involved in the logistics and delivery of supplying the product to the particular customer. Again, like I said, for some products and for some categories, there are benefits of being in FBA versus MFN, details of which we can provide as and when we discuss with you on what works best for you.
Nikki, did you explain the payment mechanism? I mean, this gentleman called Mr. Rajesh Bhatia, he's saying that if I send 500 pieces of my product to Amazon Global Marketplace, they keep selling one by one. How's the payment made? Have you explained that?
Yes.
Can you throw some light on that once again?
Yeah. Like I said, so as they get sold, you will be able to see in your account that you have the selling or the how many units sold and what is the realization value. These are then remitted to your account, where you can use it also for your other. So it's like an account that is created on the seller central account. You can use it even for spends, etc. At specific periods and intervals, these are also then debited to your bank account. So then you will get the amount realized into your bank account. So there is also credit card that you will keep on file on the Amazon portal for you to make any other charges. For example, on the advertising spends that you may have, these are taken from your credit card. You will keep a limit for each of this. So in terms of the payments, both the bank account and the credit card will help you manage your payment business for the business.
Okay. Now we have some raised hands, Nikki. If you permit, I can allow them to speak.
Oh, sure.
Can I? So we have Ketan with us. So Ketan, ask your question, Ketan. Just unmute yourself and you can ask your question directly.
Hi. I just want to ask, supposing if somebody has exported one bedsheet for $25 to US and this bedsheet is rejected and returned by the customer, what will happen to that bedsheet and what will happen to the payment?
So the FBA, if you are an FBA, the bedsheet will come back to the Amazon warehouse, and after a quality check, it will be available for the next customer who orders it. Similarly, the payment that you would have received for it will be reversed, and it will be available for sale for the next customer who orders it.
I think that answers your questions, Ketan. Now we have Mr. Naresh Singh. Naresh ji, you can unmute yourselves, Mr. Naresh Singh, and ask your question.
Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, ask your question. What do you want to ask?
Yeah. So I would like to ask regarding the Amazon Handmade program. So is there any specific link or something different? We have to go to a different handmade program, register ourselves regarding the handmade programs. As you have
you will register. Yeah, you will register yourself as a professional seller, and then you will register yourself under the Amazon Handmade program as well. Under the Amazon Handmade program, there are specific categories which are allowed. For example, currently electronics is not allowed. However, jewelry, toys and games, apparel, etc. are allowed under the Amazon Handmade. Once you are part of the Amazon Handmade program, there will be basically a verification process that goes through. Once that is done, the professional fees of $40, which was being levied on the professional program, will not be levied, and you will be only charged the referral fees for the commission, and that is the sale that you make.
Okay. So that charge, that sale value charge has to be paid by us every month, or you will take it like, for an annual, from the annual thing, something like that?
As and when you get an order. So for example, if you are selling jewelry, the minimum price or the commission that Amazon charges for a piece of jewelry is 20% of your sale price, for up to $250. About $250, if your price exceeds, then for the about $250, you'll be paying 5% commission on that. So depending on the category, there is a commission fee that is being charged, but that is being charged as and when you have a sale. It is not a recurring fee. Whenever there is a sale, there is a corresponding commission charge.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we have Mr. Shekhar Gupta. Hello, Mr. Gupta. Yeah, ask your question. पूछिए question पूछिए. Can you hear us? Mr. Kamal Narang.
Yes, how are you, Nikki?
Hi, Mr. Kamal. I'm good. How are you?
Absolutely, I'm absolutely fine. My query is this, that as you have already explained that, per piece, we will be getting a remittance of our amount, which will be, you used one word that it will be lying in our account for some days there. In case of, refund, in case of there is a damaged product, if in case the customer is, returning our product. So what is that? What term you use that? It will remain in some credit card, you said something.
The Amazon warehouse, the full
warehouse.
No, the payment. So yeah.
Amount
that will get remitted to your bank account. If there is, debited or remitted from your bank account.
Okay, and how about what is the checklist to register with you people? What all documentation we need, like GST number, like CI code, or what all documents we need to register with you people?
Again, depending on the marketplaces, there would be certain documents, or on Europe, there'll be a set of documents. For US, there'll be a separate set of documents. We can share with you as what we will do is you can reach out to us depending on the marketplace, depending on the products that you are selling. We can share with you the documents that are needed for it. You can reach out to share your email ID on the chat box, and my team member will reach out to you. You can just mention the kind of products you sell, and they will reach out to you for conversation.
Okay, thanks a lot, Nikki. Take care.
Thank you. Mr. Rajesh, can you give access to a couple of my team members to also answer questions? That may become more easier.
Okay. Now you have to tell me who's that. I mean, who's the gentleman you want me to get into?
So one is Akshay Gupta.
Just a second. Let me. Yes. Akshay Gupta, Amazon. Okay, he's there. Who else?
Taran Kaur or Tarandeep Kaur.
Taran Kaur. Yeah, she's there.
Yes. Who else? And Arun Kaul. ARUN Kaul.
Arun. No, he's not there. Arun Kaul is not there.
Okay, fair enough. Then between these two, we can answer more questions.
Now we have Mr. Ramesh.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, ask your question.
Yeah, see, for initial, the people are starting with Amazon. So when you go for a merchant fulfillment network, so there is a game in pricing, subscription fee, and logistics fee. So when you initially,
you are muted. You have to unmute yourself. Yeah. We missed
can you hear me?
What you said. Yeah, repeat again. Can you repeat once again?
No, for initial testing the market, if you select merchant fulfillment network, so we have to work out the subscription fee, the logistics fee, and pricing, and also especially the time of delivery. So those are already in FBA. They are also booking the same category of product. Is there a time difference between the time of delivery, which physically sending from one place to that customer place, or FBA? The same time it will taken?
Nikki, let me answer that. Ramesh, in FBA, the products are delivered to a customer in 1 to 2 days. 1 to 3 days in 90% of products. If the product is in our warehouse, either it will be delivered next day or within 3 days. When you're
Okay.
sending from India, the minimum time we tell customers is 7 to 15 days.
So in
So there is a
that time
difference.
so in that time when you are selecting merchant fulfillment, the sales will be affected, right? People are want urgent. So in that time this will be affected, right?
It depends on the product. Product to product, it depends, right? Let's say,
Uh-huh.
for example, you are selling a bed sheet. Maybe that
Okay.
is not something very urgent. But if it may be
Okay.
some medicinal product or Ayurvedic product, so it depends on the product. There is no, you cannot say that this product, it will affect this product, it will not affect. But customers will always prefer getting the product faster.
Okay, but how will we charge this logistics fee when you go for a merchant fulfillment network?
You can add the fee. You have an option to add the fee per product.
Or how Amazon will collect this each and every delivery? Amazon will collecting this logistics fee, right?
Yes.
Right. So for that we have to work out and then we'll add in the pricing. Then we will do, right?
Correct. Someone will reach out to you post the session and we'll guide you for your product that what is the right way to do it, MFN or FBA.
Right. Thanks a lot. But we need some more clarification. But running short of time, I request Mr. Rajesh Rawat, if you give me any contact number on this, better contact with the WhatsApp to get instant chat to we make clear to do further to move further.
See, Nikki has shared the email IDs. Probably
Email
you
ID,
can write
okay.
it to them and they'll respond.
Okay.
Don't worry. Thank you. Now we have Mr. Ravi Karan.
Yeah, good afternoon. Basically, I want to know how I can pause the settings in Amazon Europe EU that I don't want to be charged every month. I don't want to be charged every month fees if I want to pause it for a few couple of months or something.
Yeah, Nikki, can you hear him? I mean, there was a lot of no.
I'll take that question. Tarandeep here.
Yeah.
Yes, so you have an option of pausing the monthly charge of your account briefly for say a month period of month or 2 months. There is an option of putting your account on vacation mode. So that pauses your monthly charges. Also, for example, once you've registered and you know that you are anticipating maybe 2 to 3 months in the in the phase of preparing your products. At that time, also you can downgrade your account and stop the monthly charge. Your account manager or this there's a 24-hour seller support available on the
So I'll just I think
sorry
it dropped
my
off.
internet dropped out.
Yeah, Taran, you're saying something?
Yes. So I was saying that in both the scenarios, scenario one where you're taking a little time in terms of getting your products ready, but you've registered on the platform, the seller support will help you put your account on a mode where you will not be able to charge monthly. Also, say you've fully started selling on the platform, but in between you are anticipating a delay of 2 months or 3 months in between, you can again put your account on vacation. So all those features are there on the account. You don't have to worry about it. But as such, when you're actively selling, please be prepared that there is going to be a fee of $39.99.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi Kiran. Now we have Ratnadeep Agrawal.
Hello.
Ask your question.
So as I have heard that if I export from India, it took 10 to 15 days or something. So I would prefer to use warehouse like in UK. So what will be the formalities? I have to, what will the custom papers required and how can I use the warehouse? What will the government formalities I need to fulfill?
Sir, I have a follow-up
Because
question.
it will be assumed export. Right now, it will be assumed as an 100% export, but I am not getting money right now, and it will take time to be sold out all the products. And so, how it will done? I want to know.
So, sir, again, we do not very deeply go and comment on the taxation and the legal side of it. We'll give you a brief overview how it works, but we do have, we have consultants who will be able to tell you in detail what is the policy which gets applied where. But I'll give you a brief overview. Now, when you send your products and your products are getting cleared at the custom, the documents that support your shipment, documents like AD code, the invoice which gets attached, the LUT, the letter of undertaking and AD code, and also the address is also mentioned that the products are going to an Amazon warehouse. So these 2-3 things combined, when your shipment leaves the country, the government already knows that this is a e-commerce consignment shipment. So the government then has a rule which says that your payments can be reconciled in a time span of almost 6 months. Right, 6 months to 9 months. I will not comment strictly on that policy. That is something we can always recheck. But you get a time span of 6 to 9 months within which the government then reconciles that, hey, you had declared a value of almost say $1,000 goods that went out. This is the amount that you received back. So that reconciliation, you get time for it. You don't have to immediately reconcile payment against the goods that went out.
Because it is hard to say 6 months before, because some product are not selling. Suppose I am giving 10%, 20% discount or something. I cannot assume what will the final amount.
Again, yeah. So there are workarounds that also. If you share your email ID on the chat box with us, we can have a detailed conversation on this, because just for the sanctity of the time of the session. But we can connect offline and I can tell you how our sellers deal with this.
Okay.
Thank you, Ratandeep. Thank you very much. Now we have last question, last raised hand of Shikhar Gupta. Shikhar, can you ask your question or? Hello, can you hear us? I think we are having some trouble. Now I think all the questions. Are there any questions left, Nikki? Or I think we have answered everything. Or else, if some questions are left, probably your team can write your email IDs in the chat box, and probably they can directly get in touch with you through your email IDs. Or if you want to share your number, some of you probably you can do that as well.
Yeah, I have shared in the chat box the email IDs of people. So you can share it. I will again share my screen for a second here so that people can note down the email IDs. Just a second.
Okay.
This is the email IDs of people depending on category. Please use this email ID and you can reach out to us. Among these people, they will also then route it to any other category. If your product falls outside of this category, we will help you identify the right people as well. So you can just take a note of this.
If you can enlarge the screen, also very small. Yeah. Now there are 3 email IDs.
Yes, 3 email IDs for different categories. However, you can just write to any particular email ID between us. We will help you and route you to the right person.
Okay, I think that we are done with all the questions, Nikki.
Yes, I think we are done with most of the questions.
Okay, perfectly fine. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you very much. Now, before we close, we have with us our chairman, Mr. Ravi Pasi. Sir, would you like to add something to what has been said?
No, I just want to say that it's a new digital era that has come. So all the people, whether they are exporter or manufacturer, so they have to study more about these things. What are the import duty, how you can stock it, what are the leftover, and what about the payments and all that. So they must, I think, go through more in details. So this is my advice. First, start to go to this platform or another platform also. They should study all the things so that they can do their business for future. No doubt, the digital era has come. So they have to see. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, very aptly put that you have got a lot of options, and the decision that you have to take should be a very, very informed one. And for that, we have a team of experts with us on Amazon. They'll share all the information with you, and then probably it is up to you to decide to go for it or not to go for it. So now I think we have come to the close of this session, and I would like to thank the entire Amazon team, especially Nikki Anthony, Sulmeet, Akshay, Taran, everyone. Thank you very much for being a part of this webinar. I would also like to thank Mr. Ravi Pasi, our chairman, EPCH, who has always been a great support to us. He's there in all our webinars with us. Thank you once again. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.